This video is going to be about senior safety rules. Let's start out talking about fall prevention. You know those cute throw rugs that you like to have around the house? Probably best idea to get rid of those. Those are a trip hazard. If you have carpeting in your house, make sure that it is secure. Make sure there's no frayed edges in between rooms that pop up that become a trip hazard. Maybe the thing that you threw the throw rug over to begin with, that was a trip hazard, then you doubled it with another trip hazard. It's best to get rid of those things. Also have good lighting. Make sure that you have good night lights, and the motion sensing ones are nice to have also. And clear your clutter. Get things out of your way. If you need to move, if you start to stumble, you don't want clutter being around for you to fall on or to trip over. And especially if you're feeling unstable, use a cane or a walker. There's nothing wrong with using a cane or a walker. I use a walker around my house all the time. And it's so nice. It adds way more stability than me on my own legs. It's the seated kind, so if I need to, I can sit down. Now in your bathroom, you want to make sure that you have grab bars around the toilet and in and around the shower tub area. They're so handy, and they double as towel racks. And you want to use non-slip mats, bath mats. And if you don't already, look into getting a walk-in shower. They're very convenient, and most of them come with seats so that you can sit down in them. That, combined with the grab bars, makes you be able to stay in your home a lot longer because it makes bathing a lot easier. Also consider a raised toilet seat. That kind of goes without saying why you would need one. Now, the entryways to your home, maybe consider, if you have steps, consider maybe a ramp. And also make sure that all your grab rails, your handholds, are very securely mounted and will take your weight if it needed. And swap out the round doorknobs for the lever type doorknobs. I would have never thought about this until I read it, but it is a lot handier. I have both in my house or in my apartment, and the lever is so much easier to handle to get in and out of a door. Now in the kitchen, I wish I had these, but I don't. The slide out shelves, they're the handiest things that I've ever seen. You know, the turntable one in the corners, and then the slide out shelves, especially in the lower cabinets there, just make it so usable. I find I can only use about half the space of my lower cabinets because I can't bend over and get down and reach into the back of them. Now, you probably do this already, but keep things that you use a lot in easy reach. Don't make it something you got to dig for or try to reach for that's out of your reach and have to get on a step stool or something to get it. But make sure that the stuff you use frequently is easily reached. Something I do every time I'm in the kitchen and cooking something. I put a reminder on my Echo Dot. I've got 4 Echo Dots, basically one in each major room in my house, and I use them all the time. They are the most handiest things ever. But in the kitchen, they're great for just making a simple timer or for a reminder, so you don't leave the burner on or you don't leave something cooking and have it go past the time it's supposed to. Now we'll touch on the technological side of it. There's the medical alert things. If you have a condition where you may need immediate medical assistance and maybe almost incapacitated, those little medical alert bracelets or the little buttons that you wear around your neck on a lanyard that summon help. I think generally they would summon the fire department. But if you're thinking you need one of those, get one of those. Don't put it off. And then make sure that if you need help, you can contact help from any room in your home. And that's, again, where these smart speakers come in at. You know, you can get them from not only Amazon, which is the Amazon Echo Dot, or the Google Nest, Apple HomePod. They are the best things, and they're only getting better. I can actually have conversations with my Echoes now, and they know everything. It's like having an encyclopedia, a phone book, whatever. I mean, topics you can learn all about, or as I say, a phone book if you need what's the closest Mexican restaurant to me, or what's the phone number of this business, or call 911 even. They'll do that. And make sure for your medications, you're using those daily pill holders. And I keep 2 of them, and my caregiver keeps them full for me. And it's probably something I could do on my own, but she is so good about remembering what we've talked about at the last doctor's appointment. I take a lot of medications, so she really keeps them straight for me. And I've got 2 weeks worth at any given time, at least a week's worth. I guess you'd be filling them every day if I had 2 weeks worth. And to go along with the smart home feature, and it's really good for you to look into, and they're not hard to learn. If you've got a relative or a friend that can help you set them up, it's just fine. But the Echo, if you've got an Amazon account, you just plug it in, and it'll pretty much sign into your Amazon account for you, and you're on. I'm not sure how the Google one works, but I imagine it's probably about the same, and the same with the Apple. They make them very easy to use. And once you have that, you'll find out how convenient things can be. You can get switches that are smart that'll work with them. You can get light bulbs that'll work with them. You can get plugs that will work with them. Almost anything electrical in your house, you can turn into something you can use just by talking to it, which makes it a whole lot easier. Stuck on a spelling word? Ask it. It'll tell you. Want to know what the hours are for the local post office? That's covered too. Even the price of a stamp you can learn about. What movies was this actor in? You can get that too. They're just so handy. And it will really change your world. I guarantee you that. Towards having a regular group of friends or relatives that you visit with often, at least once a week or so. Or you can also do video visits, talking on the phone, visiting at each other's homes. And there's social engagements that you could do such as senior clubs, senior centers, that type of thing. Even go to a regular bingo parlor if you can keep from gambling a lot. And if you're lucky enough to have a caregiver, give you a lot of visiting, and certainly great help in order to stay within your home. Personal care can be given by family members, paid professionals. There are programs in most states, I believe, I know there is in my state, where a family member can actually be paid for being your personal caregiver. When it comes to food, utilize the local stores that offer home delivery. And also meal services like Meals on Wheels. There's some other, mostly church-based organizations that do senior home meal deliveries. And there's health and wellness. You want to start a regular exercise program. It can be chair exercises, bed exercises. I do both of those. It keeps you active and helps you maintain your balance, which are all things that are very important at our age. And you want to practice a healthy lifestyle, such as eating well, and that goes right along with the exercises. Doesn't have to be a lot of exercises, and you can have a little cheat once in a while, but as long as you're in the right direction there, you'll know. It just makes you feel better. Then you want to manage stress. So many things we let bother us, especially if you have idle time. And when it comes down to it, if you can't change it, try not to worry too much about it. It's nothing you're going to be able to fix and try not to take on other people's problems. It's a pretty common thing for a lot of people to want to pass on their problems to you so they feel better. But, their problems are their problems, and they need to live with that, and so do you. And then keep your mind engaged with new activities, whether it's a hobby. Like, for instance, I tinker with old clocks, the old wind-up kind of clocks, and I find that quite rewarding. I dibble-dabble in this or that, even a little YouTube, as you know. But as long as you're learning about something new, keeping yourself active, that'll go a long ways to making you happy in your older years. Then you want to look at emergency preparedness. That's where you have your contacts, your emergency contacts, close at hand or available, like on your refrigerator, for people to see, whether it be a paramedic or a friend that stops by and, to check on you. And know what to do in a crisis. If you live in an apartment complex like I do, the fire department is a good source of what you can do to stay prepared in the home, to keep you safe. And they're a vast wealth of knowledge on what they would like to see when they come into a situation where they're coming to give you help, like prescriptions you might take, what medical conditions you have, and a location where they can find that information immediately when they enter. And you want to protect yourself from scams on the phone, at the door, on television even. And you do want to keep your doors locked at all times. If you are a senior living at home, generally it's pretty common knowledge. If anybody watches your place for even a minute, they'll be able to tell that, what the living situation is. So you want to keep your doors and windows locked, unless you need to have them open for a certain reason, but especially at night. Use your air conditioner rather than leave a window open, or block it so that it can't be opened all the way. Open it a little bit and have a dowel or whatever in the window to keep it from going up or down anymore. There's various ways to secure whatever type of windows you have, whether they're the double hung or sliders and don't share your personal information with callers. They can call and say they're from your doctor's office, or they can call and say they're from the utility, or they could call and say they're from the police department, or you have a Nigerian prince relative that you never knew of before, but for some reason, even though they're millionaires, they somehow need your $100. So be careful of those kind of things.
Wade, here's your reminder. Make coleslaw.
And according to my notes, I guess that's what I've got set to cover with you this time. I appreciate all the comments I've been getting from everybody and the suggestions. And yeah, I know I try to keep my videos to 10 minutes. One thing I might say, I haven't had to stop recording because Cupcake jumped up here. But of course, I gave him his flea medication today, so that's probably why he's kind of hiding from me. Cupcake, Muffin, and I will see you soon.